This is actually going to be one of your coldest mornings at the bus stop that you've had at least since early January. And for some of you, tomorrow morning might be the coldest that you've had all winter. Let's look at Nashville. We're starting at 27. Feels like 17 right now out here with that wind chill all the way down to the deep south. It is chilly. It is cold this morning. So as we take a look from Nashville to Atlanta and then some other spots here through the southeast, we are going to be looking at this cold settling in for a couple of mornings. Freeze warnings are up all the way from Missouri, Kentucky, straight down into the Florida Panhandle, and a hard freeze warning in South Georgia and northeastern Florida there, not too far from Jacksonville. Yes, everything has started leafing out. The grass has started greening up. Your flowers are coming out, right? So I hope you covered things up last night because we are going to be concerned about this freeze. That's where we've had the early green up, and it's about 3 to 5 weeks ahead of schedule. This is where we have temperatures below 32 degrees this morning, and we know that the critical temperatures start to get even below 30. I learned with the cherry blossoms, for example, 29 degrees, 27 degrees, there starts to be some damage, but below 24 degrees, then you start to have a significant concern about damage. And when it stays that way for several hours, then you have real concern, and that's the case across, a good chunk of the south. You've got temperatures that stay that cold even into the afternoon, and then tomorrow morning we go down again as this cold high pressure slides in and temperatures reach even lower numbers by tomorrow morning. We're sitting at 57 even in Miami, which is chill for us. We haven't been that way since January. Have we seen a temperature that cold? 24 in Nashville, 29 in Atlanta. We're not going to break records this morning. Old records were set back the day after the superstorm in 1993. So those are some hard numbers to break. But today's highs staying below average. Tomorrow morning, we're going down again, and we may set some records tomorrow morning. Look at these numbers. Birmingham, 26, coming close. Jacksonville, we should set a new morning low, 28 degrees. Beating the old record of 30. Macon, Georgia, we should tie it, and then tying it as well in Charleston, South Carolina. Look at that, 28 degrees in Charleston. All right, looking at some other spots like Montgomery and Charleston and Tallahassee, your average last freeze has come and gone already. In fact, in Tallahassee, your average last freeze is the 21st of February. And yes, we are talking about sub-freezing temperatures tomorrow morning. So the reason why you may have already put out some annuals, right? Especially with the warmth, and the reason why we're concerned about this cold coming on in. As I was watching this storm unfold yesterday, that was our eastern storm, it brought to mind, since it was the anniversary of the big superstorm of 93, the fact that we had that severe all the way down to Florida, and the storm extended up into the northeast. Just a very dynamic, far-reaching storm. Now today, we want to take a look at what's coming next. We got some thunderstorm chances this week. Not a big severe event, but still the chance for storms getting into the end of the week, into the weekend. Places like Nashville. Friday night, we've got some thunderstorms coming your way. You notice those temperatures get a lot warmer too. We're going to see us back into the 60s. So here's what's happening. We've got our next piece of energy, which is still out here, by the way, in the Pacific. We'll see that dive down over the Rockies, and we'll get that plus a little lee side low that develops to help get our next round of active weather going right here into portions of the Mississippi Valley and back into the southern plains. So we've got rain and thunderstorms on Friday in your forecast. We'll see that back into Arkansas, maybe into eastern Oklahoma, North Texas. It's possible Friday into Friday night. And then we take it into Saturday. The front loses a lot of its oomph. We don't have a ton of moisture returning into the front either, into the area with this front. So we won't be looking, I think, at big rain. It's certainly not going to be a big help to the drought, but anything would be better than nothing, right? So we'll look for some rain coming your way in places like Georgia and South Carolina. So Little Rock, we've got the chance for storms as well. Friday into Friday night, temperatures again warming back up. So we got 69 degrees for a high on Friday, a huge change from the cold that you have today and this afternoon. So we'll get those south winds that will help do that and bring some moisture back into the region that will help get us those thunderstorm chances here. Let's look at your forecast in Charlotte, North Carolina, because by the time the whole system comes in, we do warm up. So it is rain that comes in, but we really just have a chance of a couple of showers of your Saturday morning rain and then clearing out and cooling down after that. All right, let's go back up.
Right there on the South Shore of Lake Michigan, that's still just getting hammered. Quite the fetch all the way along the lake.
Same band that we were tracking yesterday, right, that shifted through Chicago. It just pivoted around, now affecting us there in southwestern Michigan. Now let's talk about what's happening for you. Travel today in the east as we try to get things back on track. Still very windy. On the roads, anything that's cleared, you're doing much better, but the winds are going to be a factor for drivers and flyers especially.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little white knuckle on the roadways for sure, but in addition to that, that could cause some blowing, and anything that hasn't been treated, not just clear, but also probably brined or salted, is going to be slick. A lot of secondary roads will be a problem.
Plus, with some of these temperatures down into the teens, look at Doylestown, 18. That brine works less as well.
Less effectively,
at that temperature. So the morning rush, you're doing fine. There could be some snow showers, not impossible that you could see that coming through later today. No big accumulation, but just don't be surprised by it.
Right, and that can limit your visibility a little bit. Real quick bursts like that.
All right, let's talk more about what's happening up here with the snow. Steph, I mean, it was nice to have a mild February, but now we're back into it. Got to get back into that frame of mind, and we're going to keep those icy sidewalks for the next couple of days because we don't warm up until we get to the weekend. Here's a look. New York City, tomorrow we get to 36, so on the sunny side of the street, you'll do better. On the shady side of the street, I bet you still have that ice sticking around. Let's look ahead to Friday. So we've got our next little piece of energy comes out over the Rockies, helps us get some thunderstorms going on Friday across portions of Arkansas into Tennessee. Then we see the system push into the northeast. We could watch that go off the coast and throw back moisture and snow into southern New England, especially New York City. Should be mild enough that we don't get snow out of this one. In the south, warming back up as well. And coming up, while winter storm